Good morning, Rising Vibes, coming to you legit from the rock. Today's subject is twin flames. What is a twin flame? A twin flame is a mirror image of yourself, but not in bodily, humanly form. It'll be more in your spiritual and desires, the same goals, the same likes, the same, interests. Now, it's not to a T completely true because you have your yin and your yang. They are almost opposite, but you're opposite in ways where you lack, your other is strong. Now, to understand this in a certain aspect, I'm going to try to tell you, a little more about my twin flame relationship. So, twin flames are usually 10 years apart in age. And when you meet your twin flame, it won't be like when you've met anybody else. It'll almost be unreal. And that also creates a lot of characteristics in a twin flame relationship with the whole runner and catcher and everything, and I'll get to that in a minute. But when I met my twin flame, it was almost supernatural. And the reason why I say that is because I was going through an extremely tough time in my life, and my desire was to become who I used to be and be strong again, because I felt like I lost myself. I was in such a bad situation with somebody that was just killing my vibrations completely. They weren't good for me at all, and I wanted out so bad, and I had trapped myself. And a lot of us have done that. And I am here and living proof to show that you get out of it. But my twin flame, he moved in next door to, me and the guy I was with, which is the father of my kids. And it was not good. It was bad. I wanted out so bad. But I didn't know how. And he came over to introduce himself. And he refused for me not to look at his eyes and introduce myself back. And me, that would have been something I would have done if I would have seen one of my friends in a really hard, rough, rush relationship, trying to get them to come out of it. And when I looked in his eyes, it was like seeing my own beautiful soul, the old me, determined, strong, not gonna take anything from anybody. And yet there was like a pure connection that I've never experienced. It wasn't part of fairy tales, so I didn't know. I was like, what the heck? And I wanted him to have the greatest life, because what he had manifesting in his life was what my desires were and what I turned away from. I used to write my own music when I first started off. It might have been a little goofy. I was 10. Okay, well, I started before then. And so he actually was that. He was strong in his writing. He was determined in everything that he did. He had so much passion in what he did, and it showed. And being a tattoo artist, he made the most amazing work. And me, I didn't think that I was worthy enough. So once I was finally free, because I started to recognize, because when he would talk to me, it would almost be exactly what I would say to myself, but I had killed myself so much, I forgot the old me. And so it helped me to evolve. And then I just knew, and I couldn't deny it anymore. It was scary, so I wasn't going for it at first because I didn't understand twin flame. I only understand, the happily ever after fairy tale type stories. And this was more of like the Dark Knight, than it was the king or Prince Charming. But I was never like a princess either. And if I was more like Mulan, I'm gonna make a man out of you. But, or Frozen, Elsa. Like, have to hold all this stuff in, and now I gotta let it go. And I'm not waiting on Prince Charming because I can build my own castle, and I could be the queen of my own castle. And so it was one and the same. And so I started becoming my greatest version. And it's because I had a true love. Like, I didn't have to really talk to him. I just knew. It was almost as if I could read his mind. And he always said that if I could read his mind, it'd be scary. Well, some of the stuff was pretty scary. But I was no different in certain ways. He was stronger in the more dominant masculine side. And I was definitely had become weaker in the feminine side. But I was able to actually do it and enjoy it because I finally had somebody that deserved that, because I felt like nobody deserved it. But when I saw his soul and I saw all of that and I felt all of that and I knew exactly how it felt, because I have been in the same kind of scenario that produced the same kind of emotional distress or physical, pain. It was, like I say, not in the same, because you're not the same person, but you're the same soul. Like, it's the yin to your yang. It's, all the same. But anyways, if you want to find out what is a twin flame, one of you in your star charts, because you will be 10 years apart. So if you are 10 years apart, and it's not going to be to the T 10 years apart, but it's going to be like they were born in year 1980 and you were born in 1990, 10 years apart. One of your star charts will have your twin flames. I drew a blank because I'm picturing it, and so it's, trying to explain it. Anyways, one of your twin flames will have their zodiac symbol will be in the star chart. And if you're a woman, look for the feminine side. Mine is the moon. Moon is my femininity. So he actually is a Gemini, and my Gemini moon sign is my birth star chart for the moon. My moon was in Gemini. And so I didn't find out until after we were together that my twin flame is, Gemini, moon, and everything else, and there's no coincidences. When we were back being friends, because we were best friends before we got together, and it's great because I got to be there for him when he needed somebody, and then I get to be there for him forever now, as long as one of us doesn't run, because in the beginning I was running. I was running, and then I stopped running, and then he was running. So you get my point. We took turns playing catch. I guess we like to keep it on the wild side. But anyways, so I was getting a tattoo of a moon on my side, and he had put his face in the moon, and I guess that was his way of telling me that, he wanted me. Kind of a way I would do it, drop signs instead of actually speaking it, because I'm like, they'll catch on. It's kind of like your own personal, like, I wonder, let's see type thing, which is really cool because we're both the same in that. I don't know if I've ever told him that, but I'm pretty sure he knows. He's my twin flame. I mean, come on. But then I found out that the Gemini sign was my, I'm an Aquarius, and the year and day and time to a T that I was born, the moon was in Gemini. And I'm not sure, and I will look into, if you're a guy with your masculinity, where to look. But if you study astronomy and astrology, you'll start to see the connections. There's no coincidences in this world. So a twin flame is usually going to be 10 years older than you, or 10 years younger than you. Because 10 is the number of completion. So remember that. Numerology has a lot to do with a lot of things. Study on it. I'll help out with it. If you have questions, leave a comment. So your twin flame will help you evolve to become your greatest version. Now, it gets so intense that you go through a part where you're gonna separate yourselves, because you'll either feel like, I don't deserve this person, because you'll feel how I felt when I first met my twin flame, like, wow, I don't deserve you yet. Like, you're amazing. And I know I could be that way, but I'm not there yet. And so you put it off. And then you start to learn how to appreciate that person. And you'll appreciate all the stuff, because it's the small little things that matter. And also, one thing you should learn with your twin flame, you guys cannot keep playing catch and run, even though it's fun. You know what I'm saying? But with the twin flame, you will show your twin flame all of the stuff that they don't like about themselves, because they'll see it in you. And it usually causes them to, not want to look in the mirror. If you're in denial at the time, you won't want to look in the mirror. You won't look in the mirror and be like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I was trying to hold on with my twin flame relationship, because I could tell that stuff was getting rough. I had my awakening, and it scared me. And so I ran. And you learn to love each other in a way that it's almost supernatural. And then you write a book about it. And then you make millions. I'm writing a book about me and my twin flame. It's going to be more in the supernatural perspective. So you guys are definitely going to have to look at that. But if you have any more questions, because I can't fully explain to each individual person their twin flame, because it's a reflection of themselves spiritually. So be good and stay healthy. Keep your vibes rising. Meditate. Until next time.